fight. Let's see.
Members conspire to expand and frustrate the Lord Father's sense of both what is and is not possible within his underworld.
Eluded all of them.
No problem. My Lady Artemis, your favor's been invaluable to me. No finer huntress ever walked the surface of the earth or underneath.
You're being very nice to me and that makes me suspicious, understand? So, you want more of that, you keep this up. So, I have heard that Achilles himself taught you how to fight. No wonder you can hold your own down there, that is amazing. Do be sure to honor him from time to time, got it?
Hail and good tidings to you, noble cousin. May you be swift and thorough vanquishing the dead who dare oppose you.
Lord Poseidon. I salute you, Uncle Poseidon. Your strength and confidence inspire me, and you accepted me as part of the family without question. It means a lot.
Oh, nephew, but you needn't shower me with offerings and praise, you know. I have no need of showering at all. Not when I have the sea itself to do with as I please. You've received the blessing from Athena there already, little Hades. So careful all the time, that one. But here, I'll help you live a little, just in case.
I bet Electo's next. Not quite.
Ugh, I almost want to thank you, Zagreus. I thought you'd never change that blasted pact and leave me here in peace.
What, you mean you aren't lonely or without Electo's or Tisiphone's companionship? They seem so wonderful to have around.
They're tolerable each to some extent. About as much as I can say for you. Now let's the two of us begin.
Van!
I found you, Zagreus. You have the butterfly I gave to you. Stay back then, and it'll make you stronger once I'm finished here.
Van's keepsake.
I know you've heard a certain rumor from a very skinny individual who's uninclined to move. You best keep that one to yourself, all right? Or else our jig is up, and your father wouldn't like that, nor would you. So, cheers.
There, on your hands. The weapons you call Malphon. They're just as I saw in my dream. Monstrous. Like me.
Former property of someone called Gilgamesh. The beastman he fought, Enkidu. You said they became friends. What said your dream about us on that front, sir?
It didn't say much. Only that we would fight. Just as that Gilgamesh and Enkidu once did. Maybe the outcome will be the same. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. Enough, short one. Ugh. The might of Gilgamesh. I understand it now. But I won't make his friend's mistake. We'll fight again.
I beat the bull of Minos.
The key to any halfway decent feast is lots and lots of preparation, man. Or maybe just having to improvise, you know?
To think he could have. None of this didn't have to be.
Hey, money. You ever want to travel past this glade, sir? Elysium in all its splendors. There's a lot to see. Sure you're all right?
I'm sure enough, stranger. I traveled far and wide whilst I drew breath. That got me rid of any wanderlust. This little corner suits me well, I think. I have the statue there, the river. It's quite nice.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
There, King. He has the weapons I told you about. The fists of Gilgamesh. Follow my lead this time.
You know my father and my uncle by now, right, Zagreus? I don't know which of them is worse. I mean, superior. Superior, despite technically spending most of his time in the seas beneath Olympus. Isn't that right, Uncle?
Oh, Artemis, you needn't boast a little Hades there on my account. Besides, whether you're in the sea, above it, or beneath, makes little difference to your measure as a god. You two are young as yet. Keep at it, and you'll soon be practically as great as I.
Ah, yes.
Poseidon! Now ride the wave, nephew. Poseidon.
Although there are innumerable ways for one to die, our danger-seeking prince has come to know a sizable variety.
Not bad at all, really.
He's finally returned.
You're such a good boy, aren't you, Cerberus? Yes, you are. Guarded the place while I was out, and even let my son come visit me.
The ever-vigilant and terrifying Cerberus merely accepts the praise.
So, you had a run-in with the Minotaur out in Elysium, did you? Perhaps the only soul within this realm more bull-headed than you.
How long have you been waiting to use that line, Father? Wouldn't put it past you to have sent the Bull of Minos to Elysium entirely so we could have this conversation now.
You give me too much credit, boy. The Minotaur resides where he resides because of an entirely different arrangement.
He's working for you, isn't he? You think he can stop me?
Most in Elysium jump at the opportunity to do my bidding. Not that you know what that is like. Now go, see how you fare against the bull.
Wanted to ask you more about Nyx and Chaos, sir. So they just drifted apart. I mean, why not just keep in touch? I don't understand. How hard is it just to say hello from time to time?
It can be harder than you know. For someone like Nyx, she was responsible for no small part of creation herself. As her relationship with Chaos grew more strained, she gave birth to strife, misery, doom, sons and daughters you don't hear about too much.
What, really? I've never heard Hypnos or Thanatos mention any of them, let alone Nyx. They sound like a handful. Where are they? What happened?
I don't know, lad. On the surface, I suppose. My point is, Nyx had her own problems to contend with. Dealing with her brood, governing the underworld all on her own before your father arrived. Her relationship with Chaos suffered for it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Heard you made it, Zag.
I hope you're ready for some more of the real thing there, Than, because I got you some and I won't be taking what is this, Zag, for an answer.
Ugh, what is this? Come on already, Zagreus. Are you just messing with me now? How did you even manage to get more of this, much less decide to hand it off to me?
In order, no, I'm not. By ransacking my father's realm repeatedly, and it's because I like you, Thanatos. In case you still have some misgivings about that.
You like me, Zagreus? I never thought. I don't know why that sounds so strange coming from you, given everything that's happened as of late.
Yeah. Look, if you don't feel the same way about me at this point, I would rather know. Cease all these coy gift exchanges and all that.
I never said anything like that. You know what? There's a bunch of mortals I have to go fetch. Goodbye.
Than, wait. Orpheus is with Eurydice, I guess.
Ambrosia. You know the penalty for attempting to sway an overseer of the House of Hades with foreign contraband, don't you?
I can't entirely say I do, though if it involves lashings and whatnot, I already get more than my share of that, so figured I would take the risk. So what do you say?
I say hand over the damn bottle. I'll see that it's disposed of properly. Now, as for you, you wouldn't know who misplaced something like this, would you? On my authority as overseer. Hang on to it. Though if you tell so much as anyone.
What? Wow. I'll cherish her. Hey Meg, I understand you're under orders to kill me on sight out there, but do you really have to go so hard on Sisyphus?
That wretched shade isn't who you think he is. Do you have any idea of the magnitude of his crimes from when he led a mortal life?
He cheated death, tricked Thanatos, and maybe Father too.
Before that, he did worse. He was an awful man. I think that is the real reason that your father punished him.
What if he's changed? Or said impossible? No coming back from certain crimes.
No coming back from certain crimes indeed. Though you may have more mercy in your heart to spare than I in mine.
Oh, hi!
Miss Dusa, I ran into hostile Gorgons that resembled you out there in Asphodel. Resembled only in the vaguest sense, I mean. They lacked your charm or social graces anyway. I just hope you are not related, since I sort of, you know.
Oh, those old things? They're relatives just in the loosest sense. Like, say you had some nasty, almost mindless siblings born entirely from your own blood, something like that. Do you have any idea how hard it was to get a steady job because of them?
So I have your permission to continue hacking down such Gorgons with impunity?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thanks for asking, Prince.
Look at what I caught, Chef. We're settled up. Whenever I encounter you, Uncle Poseidon, my spirits lift, and I feel there must not be anything that can stop me. I only wish we met sooner, though I'm grateful to have met you at all.
I thought I told you, nephew, not to make such offerings to me. I probably forgot. Or getting you mixed up, perhaps, for I have many other nephews, thanks to Zeus. Though between us, I don't like any one of them as much as you. You know, I've many vitally important things to do besides lending my aid to you repeatedly, nephew. But all of that can wait. Family comes first.
My loveliest of blessings is reserved only for those who've earned my deepest adoration. So congratulations, love. And here you go.
Well, if it isn't you...
Sisyphus, I know you tend to be in remarkably good spirits, all things considered, but there must be something I can do to help with your predicament, isn't there?
Oh, come now, Prince. Do Baldy and I look like we could use your charity? We're planning to stay put within this chamber for a while. It's hardly a predicament, I'd say.
But what of the Furies and their torments and all that? They might be back and make all this more difficult for you.
Ah, yes, the Fury sisters. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing them more infrequently now that you mention it. But either way, so don't you even worry about me. Now here. Good choice.
Thank you, mate. May you roll smoothly for eternity. Okay.
See you again, right?
Oh, hi there.
Oh. I've got a lot to be thankful for, you know, Red Blood. Your daddy could have shut you in the lowest pits, and then we never would have met.
Perish the thought, Electo. What would you have done with yourself if not for all our fated encounters?
I don't know. I mean, before we met, I've laid all sorts of other trash down here. But lately I've been keeping them waiting because of you.
You've met the Master of the Seas, Poseidon, haven't you? Our uncle's affable but quick to anger. Be on your guard with him is my advice.
They're both here.
Look who, Orphe.
I've never heard anything like this. As good as you two sound each on your own, you're positively wonderful together.
A splendid compliment, my friend. Doubtless the fates themselves conspire to ensure Eurydice and I would meet and sing together, fall in love, and then be cruelly separated for some time.
Now don't you start with that again, you get me, Orphe? got our whole entire afterlives ahead of us, and lots of songs to catch up on.
Why, you're correct, of course, my dear. If you'll excuse us, Zagreus, our calling beckons.
So I kind of placed a bet with the old boatman, my associate that is, that you could beat him in a fight twice in a row. No pressure or anything, but just in case you prove me right one of these days, I would appreciate it, cuz.
The clever-minded prince again eluded certain death, up to a certain point, but then, predictably, made one of his fatal mistakes again.
Wonder if I can get out even faster.
I'm up.
Everyone, look who it is.
Somebody raised you very well indeed, my son. Nyx, I suppose. I'll never be half the mother she is. She's done it for eons, while I'm only getting started.
For what it's worth, I happen to think you're off to an excellent start. Nyx did teach me a lot. Achilles too, and father in a way. But there is no replacing your presence. I felt that before we ever met, and now I know for sure.
Thank you, Zagreus. Let's hope you're right. I nurtured very many plants, at least. Of that I can assure you. Perhaps my gardening experience provided a bit of a head start on this whole mothering thing.
Perhaps I'm part plant.
I always fancied Thanatos, you know. So put together and everything. I'm pleased to see you've grown so close. Things good between you two?
They are. Thank you, Mother. Father, let me ask you something work-related here. I know the Shade called Sisyphus once wronged both you and Thanatos, and has since paid a heavy price. But don't the Fury Sisters now have better things to do than torture him?
You come to me to question how I allocate my resources? Preposterous. I care nothing for that wretched Shade. That he is tortured for eternity is but a technicality resulting from his arrogance. The terms of his incarceration are long lost.
So then if I could somehow find those terms, then theoretically I could grant him a pardon.
If you could somehow do your job and enact miracles, then yes. You could do anything then, I suppose. Including waste your time on those of his undeserving ilk.
That's good to know.
Zagreus?
I had this awful contraband I wanted to turn in as soon as possible, if you don't mind taking it from me, Meg.
You still have no idea how to be upfront with me, do you, Zag? Why don't you tell me why you're here and what you want?
So the whole contraband thing, you aren't buying it, I guess. Although I see you took the bottle there now anyway. I wanted just to talk to you. And patch things up, maybe.
Patch things up? What is it, by your estimation, that could use repairs between the two of us?
I was naive. I tried not to get too close, but then I did and said a lot of stupid things, and then... Well, we've since tried to kill each other lots of times, there's that. Look, I'm sorry, Meg.
You said a lot of stupid things, all right. And we Furies, we're not much for forgiveness or apologies. But I can see you're making an attempt. Now thank you for the contraband. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye. Here's what I caught lately. All right, then. Let's go with this. Since this is Father's house, it's only fair the walls be slathered with his sour look.
You dare to thusly mock me, boy?
Let's go with this one, then. These adorable little creatures forced to live in a cage ought to lighten the mood.
Oh, hey.
Those bats are for reconnaissance, not for your mood.
work approved. The comfort and the safety hazard of a roaring fire seems the perfect touch for our fine lounge, I say.
What are we supposed to do with that?
You're back.
Achilles, would you tell me something more of Patroclus? You mentioned you were very close.
We could have been no closer. The ashes of our bodies yet mingled together somewhere on the surface there. What can I tell you, lad? I loved him with all my heart. And he left me too soon.
But now you're both here in the underworld. Can't you go seek him out? Or alter your arrangement with my father?
I tried, lad. I have tried. On both accounts. What you propose is not that simple, it turns out. But I shall tell you what. When next you see Patroclus on your journeys, you keep speaking to him for me, won't you?
I'll do what I can. Oh, don't mind me. What's the good word? I have to ask you something, Nyx. What is this debt you owe my father anyway? Forgive my eavesdropping, it's just I heard the two of you discussing things and it came up.
I was here long before your father. The responsibility to govern fell to me. Yet I could not manage on my own. I shape the darkness, ensure the integrity of the domain. I am less prone to census-taking and administering rules. I receded from such responsibilities.
It was too much even for you. So, when father arrived, you welcomed him? He helped?
I was quite skeptical of him at first. I thought his presence merely a cruel trick of fate. But he worked diligently from the start. Soon there was order where once there was none. I fashioned this house for him, and I maintain it still. We remain in partnership, in interdependency.
He has never taken advantage of you? Of your generosity?
No, child. He has not. He can be short with me, as you have seen, but that is the extent of it. We have found ways to reconcile disagreements. Though your relationship with him, it is more complicated than my own, I fear.
I'm sure we can reconcile our disagreements all the same. It was only a matter of time, I suppose. Uncle Poseidon, so different from father. Lady Aphrodite, showing me favor. Glad to have Lord Hermes on my side. He just has seen me through how many fights? Not even the Pact of Punishment can stop me.
Destruction, almost uncontrollably at that. Though I am finding you are able to sate that appetite of mine.
Takes care of that.
My warlike brother Ares reached you, didn't he? I've always found his conduct quite disturbing. At least it seems he's helping you for now.
Well, well. So how do you like the surface, hey, Prince Zed? Now that you've finally had a chance to see it for yourself. Not too bad, I hope.
It takes some getting used to, that's for sure. I'm not sure I'll ever grow completely accustomed to it. Do you miss it, sir?
Oh, you know, I still have almost everything that matters, and the rest, it makes for precious memories I didn't have up there. Then here you go.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Baldy. Thank you for brightening my day or night. Huh.
Thanks for stopping by.
This must be here for me, right? Sorry. Oh, hi. You know, Charon, your associate Hermes apparently had a wager with you that I could beat you twice in a row at some point. I'd hate to disappoint him, so no hard feelings? No hard feelings, right? Got you, mate. Twice in a row. I guess Hermes wins his little wager with you then. You tell him I said, oh. What a deal, mate. Hello, Fury sisters.
Ready, sisters? What's the matter, Zagreus? You look a bit uncomfortable. Something you want to say to me? Or any one of us?
Well, it's just... there's something that I wanted to discuss with you at some point, Meg, but after more consideration, I'm thinking maybe now is not the time.
I understand entirely. Though you should know my sisters and I keep no secrets from each other anymore. Isn't that right, sisters?
I often remember that there's sweetness in this world only by your grace, Lady Demeter. I'm thankful that we've grown closer through all this.
You would make further offerings to me. Even though I have made quite clear I've lately not been at my charitable best, young Zagreus. You're either naive, or you're much too kind. Or both. Our family, why, I think we understand something of loss now, don't we, Zagreus? Unlike the mortals on the surface. Always begging me for plenty. They'll get none. But as for you, I have a plethora to offer.
Eurydice, I was thinking maybe this would benefit your culinary practice. Here, please.
Whoa, this is ambrosia. Hard to come by this stuff around here. You sure I can have this?
Absolutely. Least I could do for all your friendship and support. Always happy to hear your voice when I'm out here.
Gotta tell you, hon, Orpheus sure is different since last he and I met. You know, back when he was still living and breathing and all.
I think the experience of trying to rescue you, failing, dying, becoming court musician, refusing to sing, then being locked in solitary confinement, then finding out about you probably did a number on him. Why, is everything all right? You seem to be getting along last I saw.
Oh, we're getting along great. Better than ever. He used to be a bit more of a hotshot, but now it's like he's a little more... what's the word? Sensitive? Now I can always tell exactly what's on his mind.
This is not the deadly Hydra chamber I expected. Medusa, you there?
Chico's right here!
Okay, goodbye.
That scoundrel Theseus. Apparently he earned himself some sort of winsome prize for all his blustering there in Elysium. Oh, I'm quite certain that no matter what he and his bull friend have at their disposal, you've the power to defeat them utterly. So go do it. Surely I'll get word.
Imagine that Prince Zagreus experiences some sort of joyous outcome for a change, in contrast to the arbitrary and unfortunately painful death he shall experience now.
No, no!
Thank you everyone, you're too kind.
I was looking all over for you.
So Orpheus was finally able to reunite with Eurydice because of you, my son. Ah, I'm so glad. Your father's arrangement with him was quite severe. Though he did ask for a lot for a mortal soul to return to the land of the living.
Is it even possible for Father to return a mortal back to life if he so chose? Just by letting their shade escape or something?
Oh, I've no idea. Probably not. But we were so moved by Orpheus's plea and song that, well, I think your father took pity on him.
Wait, we were so moved? You were there when Orpheus came to try and rescue Eurydice.
I was. Your father knew I loved their music. Imagine my surprise to see him as our court musician here.
I'd no idea. Megara and her sisters ganged up on me that time. I didn't think anyone could talk her into working with Alecto and Tisiphone again, or even be in the same chamber.
I can be quite persuasive under certain circumstances, boy. Though my advice to you, not that you'll take it, is not to discuss the matter openly. Megara is a professional, but she has made her feelings on the matter clear.
Didn't think things could get any more awkward with her. Orpheus, I don't suppose you know how come I keep running into Eurydice in particular out there. For all the shades resting eternally in Asphodel, it seems beyond coincidence I always find the one that's dear to you.
I have no knowledge of the weavings of the fates, my friend. Perhaps they trample on what used to be my heart for leisure or for sport, do you suppose?
The fates can't be that cruel.
They can't be reasoned with, Nyx. You know that. What use are they to us trying to manage this? They'll make things worse.
They are your sisters. They are part of your life, whether you like it or not. Your relationship with them is yours to mold.
I'm afraid there isn't much for me to work with. You have a lot more faith in them than I do.
I have a lot more faith in you, Megara. There are many obstinate personalities with whom we regularly interact. Thus, we do what is possible.
I understand.
The light provided by the flames of deepest hell enhances the lounging area with a soft glow, and their warmth soothes the few living denizens there.
It's really quite cozy. What's for breakfast?
Hi.
Dinner, maybe? Tortusa, wherever did you get that feedy companion you gave me? You know how much that thing is worth? To me, at least. I don't know who collects those anymore, but I sure do.
Oh, I'm so glad you like her, Prince. I could think of no one better to take care of her. And best of all, she'll remind you of me. But as for where I got her, you're not gonna believe it. Can you guess?
Wait, you don't mean... No, not from Nyx herself. Did you... Wait, Dusa, you didn't, how to put this, borrow her from Nyx, did you?
No. Happen to value my job here, among other aspects of my well-being, but after the lounge assignment, Nyx herself commended me and gave me feedy as a nice reward. Although, she probably knew I'd just end up giving her to you.
That's nice of her. Thank you again. Maybe you'll have something more affordable next time. Contractor, work approved. At least somebody will enjoy it around here, even if it's just a painted skeleton.
Would that you were a painted skeleton yourself.
I hate this thing. Pleasure doing business with you, Fates. Hermes really believed I could pull this off. Lady Demeter seems to have taken a shine to me. Say, mate, I picked up a painting for our lounge that looked a little like yourself. Reminds me, have you ever even been inside? Should come join us sometime.
Ah, you know what? I appreciate that there, boyo. Those kind of social spaces, they're not really for me. I kind of like it out here. Just me, these bats whizzing around from time to time. Besides, the old contract makes it pretty clear I gotta stay right here.
What if I picked you up bodily and brought you in? Contract have anything to say about that?
Yeah, no, that definitely wouldn't fly.
Do not stray far again into the pits of Tartarus, or become lost like all its residents. Content yourself to look upon it from afar.
How about I take a closer look?
I have a brother, Helios the Sun, a nonsense talker with a flaming chariot. Why, he once told me that my Kore, that she went into that underworld of yours. Preposterous. The clouds now blot him out entirely.
Might as well.
How fierce these days the never-ending cycle of rebirth and death for you, O son of Hades. Sufficiently amusing, I should hope.
Hello, hello. How goes it with old Master Thanatos of late, Prince Zed? Is he at least less stern with you than with the poor mortals he's sent to take in here?
Oh, Thanatos is doing all right. Much like my father, I think he feels he has some sort of fearsome reputation to uphold. Or maybe he's perpetually stressed over his work. But he's been well lately.
That's good, I guess. Always appreciated that he ultimately took me in, rather than having to show up here through much more sudden, much more painful means. Didn't stop me from trying to avoid the trip, of course. Makes sense to me.
Cheers, mate. To our most famous boulder. Thanks.
Safe travels.
See you next time, I'm sure.
Hey, you're in good with Thanatos, isn't that right? A real broody sort. Sometimes I think maybe I ought to just invite him to a feast, but then what if he cools the whole thing down, makes everybody kind of you know?
Hope I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
Erinier's ready. You ready, Megara? Tiffany? Let's go.
Oh, cursed. See you later. Lernie, if you'd like for me to kill you, hiss.
The rail of adamant itself has found its way into your hands, cousin. A malignant thing if you were to ask me, and not one I would ever use myself. Unless perhaps I had no other choice. I suppose it must have been that way for you.
The fates decided this for us, I guess. And so, who are we to complain? Oh. What is it this time, stranger? You're quite effective at locating me, but not so good at leaving me in peace.
Just on one of my little jaunts through paradise is all, sir. Happened to be on the way toward my destination.
You think this place a paradise? At least down in the depths there are so many other souls with whom to share one's misery. No offense. I know that you're just passing through.
Asterius, you look absolutely smashing.
Observe this gleaming coat of bronze with which I'm adored, now short one. Your doing, as I'm to understand.
My father is to thank for that, not me. I've proven difficult for him to contain, so now I'm beneficiary of his latest pact of punishment. You're welcome.
I haven't thanked you as of yet. Though come, I'll repay you suitably for having me encased within this suit.
He's angry now. Some kind of bad dream.
Ah, it's finally time, Asterius. He's here. Aren't you now, you vile, insignificant hellspawn? Prepare now to be overrun.
Oh, this is unfair. That's a bronze-plated Macedonian Tau Lambda. What's an obnoxious bellyacre like you doing with the most durable chariot created to date?
You don't deserve to know. Suffice it that Asterius and I were handsomely rewarded once again, and we shall not hesitate to exploit our hard-fought spoils against you!
I'm out!
Such fervor coming from this crowd! Watch yourself!
Who's champion now?
Amid the wondrous, ever-springing garden of Persephone, Prince Zagreus discovers a greenish plant of some sort. Supple-skinned and covered all in spines. A bit too small to see, until it is too late.
No! Showed you that time, Father.
More to be done.
Zagreus, how am I doing as a mother? Tell me honestly. Nyx has had so much to share about raising you. Foods you hated or enjoyed, your natural abilities, your friendships. She knows everything. Sometimes I wonder how I can ever compete.
Mother, I think you're doing great. And I'm sure you know it's not a competition between you and Nyx. I just get the benefit of having 2 great mothers rather than 1. Or 0.
Thank you, my son. I know I wasn't there for most of the hard part, but I'm here now. Though when I inevitably, inadvertently trample all over your feelings at some point, please tell me, all right?
It's a deal. Mother, I know there may not be many things you miss from living on Olympus, though I wondered if perhaps ambrosia may be one of them. And got you some, because, well, here.
Why, this really is ambrosia. How did you even acquire this, Zagreus? It brings back memories for certain, and never the bad ones, which I think it must be why we prize this stuff so much. This is for me.
It is, of course. And it's my dearest hope that at some point long from now, when you're relaxing with a bottle of ambrosia, dare I say perhaps with Father, that these memories will be among the ones that spring to mind.
Oh, my son. I shall certainly not need ambrosia to think back upon getting to know you with the greatest fondness. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Mother.
Oh, come on, Serby. Hurry up and eat. This stuff can't be that bad. I mean, can it?
So what happened when Mother first arrived, if I may ask? Some of your residents seem to remember the Queen from before, yet the Olympians just never found out?
They had no jurisdiction here. No knowledge of our goings-on. Well, Hermes did perhaps, but in a very limited capacity. As far as anybody knew beyond this realm, our queen was Nyx. Ask nothing more of this.
All right, all right. Achilles, did you ever used to pray to the gods? Make offerings to them and such back when you were alive?
Prayed mostly to my mother, lad. I always had my doubts the gods were listening, that they could even hear. Though I suppose that if you make an offering, they might be so inclined, just for the moment anyway. They're helping much.
They're helping, definitely, sir. Let's do it. Was thinking it'd be good to change those columns up a bit.
Those columns are for function, not for show.
Among the countless splendid gemstones hidden underneath the earth, a great many are used to decorate the House of Hades, god of the dead, god of riches.
I guess there are a lot of gemstones here.
You broke free.
I don't suppose the name Skelly happens to mean anything to you, does it, Nyx?
It means nothing to me at all, my child. Though, why do you invoke such names within this house? Who is this Skelly, and what do you presume is the connection that exists between us?
Oh, well, essentially he's an animated skeleton who shows up just outside my bedchambers and lets me practice with my weapons on him. I sort of figured that you put him up to it. So it wasn't you?
Achilles moved throughout these chambers under my own shroud, if you must know. And thus you have in your possession the infernal arms. But I have not exerted further influence than that. Is this skeleton to be trusted, then?
I think so. I don't know. He seems all right. What are these shades up to now?
Get back.
Here, Meg. Contraband. I wish I could do over how we started.
I, too, wish for a lot of things. Unfortunately, there's no unraveling the fate's patterns. We can learn from our mistakes or keep repeating them. That's it.
What if I've learned from my mistakes? Have I ever done anything to hurt you since we've been like this? Discounting the unavoidable and frequent fights to the death.
There's nothing you can do to hurt me, Zag. It's just a question of whether you're worth my time.
Well, am I worth your time then, Meg?
You know, let me get back to you on that. I need a little time to think it through.
I see. Take all the time you need. Please take these, will you, Chef? Done deal.
Told me recently that you and Meg are the Fury. Why, you've grown quite close. Now do be careful around her, and try not to get attached there,
At the risk of incurring your wrath, Lady Artemis, I hope you will accept this from me, and see that my gratitude for all you have done for me is genuine.
What do you know? Another gift of nectar. That's quite thoughtful of you, Zagreus. Normally don't care much for the stuff, but every now and then, I mean, why not? I'm with you every step till you arrive here, Zagreus. Then I will probably ignore you like the rest. Just warning you ahead of time, all right?
Oof.
I understand the hunting goddess Artemis recently has turned her gaze towards you. It is unexpected she would offer her assistance, even to a relative in need.
I'm back, ladies.
Murderer?
One way to be reminiscent. There goes the power couple.
You fight your father's legions with Varatha, the Eternal Spear. The irony must not escape him, for he long ago stood by my side against the Titans with that thing in hand.
I ever tell you you're a real sweetheart, hun? Because if not, I'm telling you right now. Where would my culinary practice be if not for you?
I think your culinary practice would be every bit as extraordinary, though I'm pleased to have done small service to you in this great pursuit.
Well, we both know you've done a lot more for me than that. I wasn't expecting to make any new friends here anytime soon, so all the more reason it's been a real treat to get to know you. If I may say, you're a hell of a guy, Your Royal Majesty. Hey, Your Royal Majesty. I must say, you've accomplished some truly amazing feats, according to Orphe at least. But don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
Oh no, he's been boasting of my fabricated exploits to you. I've tried to tell him I was only joking with him, but now he just thinks I'm being modest.
That modesty won't get you anywhere with me either, hun. Your greatness. I'm honored to merely be in the presence of one with so many wild exploits to sing or speak of.
Asterius, other guy.
Well now, Asterius, he's returned. And this time we shall have to vanquish him without the aid of our divine armor. A worthy challenge, no?
Be cautious not to underestimate him, King. He has proved troublesome before.
Nonsense, my friend. For how can one underestimate that which deserves no esteem whatsoever? Together now, attack!
That's quite a stash there, Charon. Thank you, mate.
Now, Zagreus, once you arrive, we'll have to find for you a suitable mate, won't we? Fine young man such as yourself. Normally, there's much to choose from around here, with some exceptions, of course, such as my cunning daughter, Artemis, willfully uninclined to take a mate at all.
Yes, Zagreus, in spite of all these perfect, chiseled prospects everywhere about yearning to marry or embarrass me, for some reason I prefer to spend my time mostly alone or with my nymph friends in the woods.
My closest kin in all the underworld. I see you there, I think. What sort of violence shall we sow together this time, you and I?
Mere moments from his final victory, the prince, in his great haste, ignored surveying each side of a rather busy crossing, where a swiftly passing chariot collided with him very forcefully.
Again? I'm back. Huh.
Hypnos, you're not irreplaceable, you understand? If you don't shape up quickly, someone else is going to have your job.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, Thanatos. And let me tell you, they will have the greatest job in all the underworld.
I feel like I'm not getting through to you, brother. Well, after the inevitable happens, don't come telling me I didn't try.
Don't worry, I won't.
Greetings.
He did it again, Cerberus.
Here, Mother. More bottled pleasant memories for you. I know you're glad you've long since left Olympus, but I'm glad you were there because the experience of it must have played no small part in making you who you are.
You know, the last bottle you gave me brought more pleasant memories than I expected. No telling just how many more of them I've tucked away. Say, would it be all right if I share this with your father?
It is yours to do with as you please.
Almost sounded like a no to me.
No, I mean, yes, please share it with Father if he would be willing. I imagine what few pleasant memories he has are all of you.
Nonsense. There's also Cerberus. Present company excluded. Come on, son. Your father has a lot of work to do, but I'm absolutely certain that he has fond memories of you. Though I know that isn't reassuring coming from me.
Everything is somehow reassuring coming from you, Mother.
That Deusa sure has quite the uplifting presence around here, doesn't she, Zagreus? Sometimes I see you chatting and it warms my heart.
She does. She's great, Mother.
Hail, Prince.
Wanted to say, the Lady Aphrodite asked that I relay a message to you, sir. She said that she admires you. Mentioned a certain war.
Admires me, does she? Sometimes, lad, I think that Aphrodite is the mightiest of all the gods. Her power is what spurs us all to action, whether to love or war, or sometimes both the two. I'm grateful for the message.
Say, Father, back when you drew lots with your brothers and wound up with the underworld, rather than the heavens or the seas, which would you have claimed, if the choice was yours?
I do not deal in hypotheticals, boy. Each realm has its host of unenviable problems. You have never experienced the cold and sopping sea, or the blinding heights of Olympus. I have, and I assure you, you're not missing much.
Didn't you try to leave the underworld yourself at some point? You once gave me that impression. I always thought it was because you hated it here.
I hate not having any choice. Enjoy the freedoms that you have. As you grow along in years, you gain more burdens and responsibilities, until they bind you.
Can't wait. Orpheus must be an asphodel. Hey, Nyx, I would have you know, I'm now proud owner of my very own chthonic companion. You really built them to last. Just not very many of them, apparently. I'd all but given up on ever finding one.
I sensed this outcome, and it pleases me. Though you never would have simply discovered such a thing. They each are unique artifacts that must be given willingly if they are to retain their shape and power.
I have to say, and I do mean this as a compliment, it's hard for me to imagine Night Incarnate herself fashioning these little keepsakes to be given between friends.
Do not mistake them for their unassuming look. Within them is the strength of an unbreaking bond between two souls conjoined.
And I just adore them.
Oh, hi!
Do you have to work with Hypnos pretty closely as part of your job, Dusa? Feels like I've been running into him a lot lately.
Mr. Hypnos, I have trouble getting through to him, I think. He gives me plenty of advice, it isn't really why I talk to him. I only talk to him when I don't have a lot of other choice, I guess.
I'll just keep talking to him so no one else has to. Here's the latest catch, Chef. Why, thank you. Who am I to question fate? Where there's violence, there's Lord Ares. Baratha, has there ever been a greater spear? This is hard.
Why, you have my eternal rose, don't you? I am so very touched that you'd think first of me among my mighty kin. It pleases me to know I'm in your thoughts.
I can take it. A fishing point here.
Got you.
I got for jelly.
A good procurement. We are the sum of all decisions that we make, and that are made for us.
Good to see you.
Hey, sir.
You know, Prince said, you really have a look about you that you know exactly where you're going as of late. I used to think you weren't near as comfortable in your own skin.
Well, you were right. I was never comfortable performing Father's routine Tartarus inspections. Though those responsibilities of mine didn't last long.
Nor did we have much opportunity to chat back then, but hey, you always struck me as a decent sort. Wasn't accustomed to your father's henchpeople greeting me with a smile. Makes sense to me.
Thank you, mate. A tribute to the greatest boulder of all time. Indeed.
Think you'll go all the way this time, Boldy?
You! All right, sisters. Don't screw this up for me.
Hey, I know this one. Hey, you're singing in the blood after all, Orpheus. Thank you for taking my request.
Oh, it is certainly my pleasure, Zagreus. This song of Eurydice's and mine, I've a connection to it, I suppose. Reminded me of some fond memories.
Say, you're in good with what's his name? The one who gave you his lucky tooth? So he's an alright sort then. Has to be if you put up with him.
Lord Dionysus.
You are the top of the mountain, you know that, man? Good on you, getting on just about everybody's good side up here. I mean, that is a feat, all right?
I'm told a number of the underwater denizens from my domain were captured fair and square through your surpassing skill using the rod of fishing, little Hades. They're yours. I've millions more. Even with this armor, I was unable to best you one-to-one. Perhaps I lack as yet the necessary training to take full advantage of its benefit.
I don't suppose you have some good acquaintances with whom to train until such time as you see fit to face me once again?
No. King Theseus is occupied with preparations of his own. You are my good acquaintance now.
I win this round. In your honor, Lady Artemis. Your mighty blessings have helped me through so many trials now, and I always welcome your level-headed presence here.
Look, I like being worshipped just as much as anybody, Zagreus, though bear in mind that you can always leave the worship of me to the forest nymphs, all right?
Brothers in death! Come, blackguard, and be crushed beneath the raging wheelwork of the Macedonian Tau Lambda once again!
Theseus, you do know you look even more ridiculous than normal wearing that mask. I get the chariot and the unsporting weaponry, but why wear that thing?
This blessed mask was crafted by great Daedalus himself. A work of art and my entitled claim as champion. What has he ever done for you?
Doing Zagreus, then walks into a chamber black as night, but with a blood-red pool, and from it comes a voice which says, "Would you mind diving in these waters, Prince?" To which the prince replies, "Oh, sure."
No.
Not bad at all, really.
What?
There you are.
Father, of all the skeletons and such in your direct employ, you wouldn't happen to have any here around the house, would you? Out in my courtyard, for example?
Skeletons? I'm sure they'll welcome you when next you visit Asphodel. You may not realize it, boy, but we have a certain standard of decency we uphold around here.
I figured.
Zagreus, I heard your recent lyre playing from your bedchambers. Let no one lead you to believe it's not a reassuring start.
Oh, come now, mate. I'm terrible and you know it. You pulling one over on me is payback.
I'm being serious, my friend. It is a challenging pursuit requiring a dedicated state of mind. The progress shall come. You shall discover what I mean.
I hope you're right. Hey Meg, you're off duty, aren't you? Look, I was just hoping you might want to split this with me. Best if I could find out there, and I would give it all to you. It's just, maybe you wouldn't mind some company. From me.
You sound a little tongue-tied, Zagreus. Just like you always used to around me.
You're not exactly easy to approach, you know. So, how about it then? Care for a drink with me?
Open it up and we can go from there. You should have seen the look on your face. You act a lot more confidently now. Though, I think deep down you're still that inexperienced little godling that you used to be.
And I think deep down you're not the heartless harbinger of retribution that you want for everyone to think you are. But I can keep your secret if you're willing to keep mine. What do you say?
That sounds an awful lot like blackmail, Zagreus. You'd stoop to that with me?
No, I was just... That's not what I meant at all.
I just want to see you squirm. Thanks for the company and for the drink. Guess I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, hi!
Hey, Dusa, this is kind of personal and you don't have to answer, but I have to know. So, did you used to have a body and all that? Because I've heard of Gorgons, well, that you had wings and such.
Prince, so, look, that's something very private that you're asking, and I know you don't mean any harm, but it just isn't something I discuss with anyone, okay? I'm who I am. Besides, as you can see, I don't need wings to fly.
Well, that was inconsiderate of me. Cooking's one way to pass the time. Pleasure doing business. House contractor, with this gift of darkness, I decree the Elder's sigil shall be restored.
You waste your time. The sigil shall never work for you.
Must have missed Achilles. How's everybody doing?